Hello, it is Foundation Friday, April 7th, 2023. Steve Sipress here with another in our multi-part series on the fantastic foundational book, The Magic of Thinking Big by Dr. David J. Schwartz. We are in the chapter, How to Turn Defeat into Victory, and Dr. Schwartz starts by telling a couple of stories all about people that persisted, but they stubbornly persisted. And here's the problem. Dr. Schwartz shares with us that we must have persistence, but persistence is only one of the ingredients of victory. We can try and try and try and try again and still fail, unless we combine persistence with experimentation. So I had this discussion, it just so happens, yesterday, the day before, with an entrepreneur. And if you want my help, you can go to helpfromsteve.com and I'll get on a call with you too. And I was helping her out with the old saying, winners never quit. Completely bad advice, especially for entrepreneurs, because one of the keys to success is knowing how to quit, quitting properly, quitting often, and quitting successfully. Quitting is one of the keys to success. And as Dr. Schwartz puts it here, persistence with experimentation. Meaning you don't just persist, bang your head against the wall and do the same thing over and over. You quit doing that and you do something else. I had a wise mentor years ago that taught me, and I've spoken about it a lot here, that you etch your goals in stone. Never change your goals. But you write your plans in sand, because you can always change the plan to get to the goal. So you want to persist towards the goal and never give up towards the goal. But you don't want to be stubbornly persisting with a plan. If the plan is not working, you want to change the plan. If a certain new product or service is not selling, you want to stop attempting to sell it and sell something else. If you've opened a new division, it's not working, sell it off or close it up. If you've hired somebody, it's not working out, be quick to fire. Always be slow to hire, quick to fire, get rid of them, get somebody else. So persist in hiring. I know I need to hire someone. But you don't simply persist in the hiring of that one person and say, well, I'll just stick with this person forever, right? You got to know when to quit and when to have that person quit. That's the experimentation part added to the persistence that Dr. Schwartz is talking about here. He talks about Thomas Alva Edison. Credited with being one of America's most persistent scientists, it's reported that he conducted thousands of experiments before he invented the electric light bulb. But note, Edison conducted experiments. That means he persisted in his goal to develop a light bulb, but he made that persistence pay off by blending it with experimentation, by constantly changing what he was doing to get towards the goal. Make sense? Persist towards the goal. Do not persist in the plans if they're not working out. Persisting is in one way is not a guarantee of victory, but persistence blended with experimentation does guarantee success. Recently, now Dr. Schwartz is talking about the oil exploration, and we'll skip ahead here. He says, it is said that oil companies study the rock formations carefully before they drill a well. Yet, despite their scientific analysis, 7 out of 8 wells drilled turn out to be dry holes. Oil companies are persistent in their search for oil, not by digging one hole and keep digging and digging and digging to a ridiculous depth, but rather by experimenting with a new well when good judgment says the first well won't produce. Persisting towards the goal of finding oil, not persisting in one individual place that they're drilling, even though they've checked it all out and everything looks good. Make sense? So, bottom line. Many ambitious people go through life with admirable persistence and show of ambition, but they fail to succeed because they don't experiment with new approaches. Stay with your goal, don't waver an inch from it, but don't beat your head against the wall. If you aren't getting results, try a new approach. In other words, etch your goals in stone, write your plans in sand. And that'll do it for this episode on Foundation Friday, April 7th, 2023, based on the magic of thinking big by Dr. David J. Schwartz. We'll continue it next Foundation Friday, and I will be back with you again tomorrow with some tips on making money with social media on social media Saturday. As the sun sets in the west, I bid you adieu.